The 2020 Manufacturers Series in the FIA GT Championships are now over, and Team Subaru has emerged victorious. I'm here with the three drivers who made it all possible. We have Mikail Hizal, we have Takuma Miyazono of Japan, and Daniel Solis of the United States. First of all, guys, thanks for joining me, and congratulations on this World Championship victory. It's a fantastic result.
It's still surreal, right? Because, again, Mikail and Miyazono-san, they're so good. And, like, even from where I'm sitting after the fact, like, I realized after looking at the points that no matter how I performed in the first race, it wouldn't have mattered. So at the end of the day, it really is just because they did so good. But it's still good to know that after all that, I was still able to put a decent performance into the first race, given that our car was probably the second weakest one there. Really happy to have won. I did not expect it. You know, every team has really strong people. So it's just crazy to me that we were able to come out on top.
I couldn't believe this somehow, but winning the Nations Cup last year, after that, I was like, okay, I managed to win it once, but I don't think I can manage to win it again, like for the Manufacturers Cup. For my favorite manufacturer, which is Subaru here. Like for this year, also because of my studies, I still try to commit myself a little bit for the Manufacturers Cup so that I could still do the amount of races needed to qualify myself for the Manufacturers Cup series for the World Finals. But still, like, mainly focusing about my studies, obviously. And then, I also had amazing teammates such as Miyazono-san as well as Daniel Solis, which I'm so grateful about, because without them, we couldn't have won it in the end. I only know that for me and for Miyazono-san, Subaru is our favorite manufacturer, but I don't really know about it like quite for Daniel here. But still, like, to win it with our favorite manufacturer, it's quite amazing, actually.
Well, I want to talk about Subaru a little bit. I know you've kind of got a thing about Subaru, Mitsubishi and Subaru together for sure, but
Mitsubaru,
Mitsubaru, exactly.
We need to make it more popular.
Exactly. Well, where does that passion for Subaru come from for you?
I think it all started when I was a kid. Actually, it was like playing. Which game was it? Colin McRae 1. Because the first car I was using for the career mode was the Subaru Impreza, and I really liked the design and the behavior of the car back then. And then also, like, with the Gran Turismo series, there were also like some driver license where I had to use the Subaru too, and it was like the boxer engine, the sound, and the design of the car. Like, I think since then I've started to love the brand Subaru itself, and yeah.
まずなぜスバルを選んだかっていうことについてなんですけど、僕はもう本当に3歳ぐらいの時からラリーを見ていて、で、その時に、ペター・ソルベルグが、チャンピオンを取ったんですけど、そこからずっとスバルのファンで、で、もう、初年度の2018年から3年連続でスバルで出てるんですよ。もう好きだから。で、チームメイトに関しては、ヒザルと僕は去年一緒にスバルでチーム組んでたので、今年も同じチームで走ろうっていう風に言ってましたし。で、あともうすごい僕が、ダニエルのことがすごい好きだったので、彼と一緒にチーム組めたらいいなと思っていて、でもそれが、その部分も実現して、結局、3人ともすごい完璧なチームができたというか、そこがすごく僕の中で嬉しかったですね。
I know last year I said that I wanted to stick with Alfa Romeo, but I think that kind of fell through because, everybody's making their own individual decisions, and I guess Yoshida-san went to Lamborghini, and then Alonso, obviously, if the team wasn't staying together, he didn't want to do it, so he ended up going to Citroen. And so I was thinking about what manufacturers I could choose, and I thought, I've always enjoyed driving the Subaru cars. Wasn't particularly great at them because I've always driven MR cars, so FR is something that I've still had to learn, like, over time. It's a completely different driving style. So, but I always thought to myself, nobody picks Subaru, so it's an easy way to at least try and get a spot because Nobody in North America picks it. Nobody in South America picks it. I think Amazing Hour picked it in Oceania, but for the most part, it's a pretty free manufacturer because not a lot of people were picking it. So I decided, I know that Mikail and Miyazono-san are doing it. I know that they're both really good. So if I manage to qualify for this manufacturer, maybe we can fight. And then it's exactly what happened.
Obviously, you're all very experienced at the World Tour live events, but this was different, racing at home. Was it easier? Did you feel faster or slower?
おそらくほとんどの選手が、ライブイベントよりも、心理的にはすごい楽な状態でレースはできていると思うんですよね。でも正直自分は、ライブイベントでも、家と同じような、同じようなと言うとちょっと語弊がありますけど、その家と近いパフォーマンスを、出せる、そういう選手だと思っているので、その部分では正直自分はライブイベントの方が、少し他の選手と比べて有利なのじゃないかなというふうには思っていました。
It was pretty up and down, honestly, because the most important thing is, when you go to the live events, you have obviously the 55-inch TV, which is massive. So you can kind of get a real detailed look at the track. Like everything's so big in front of you. And the other thing is their cockpits are perfect. You can adjust them the way you want. Everything is basically at your fingertips the way that you want it. You can personalize it yourself. Obviously at home, I just have this desk that has a weird height and then this chair which isn't perfect and it rolls around a little bit. And then I have no way, I don't have a wall behind my pedal set, so the pedals move when I'm using them. So in that department it kind of sucks, but obviously it had to happen. There was no way we were going to have a live event, but I think the experience is something that we're all sorely missing. So as far as playing the game, nothing really changes aside from the slight discomforts of having different setup. But other than that, driving's the same. It's just, you wish it could be,
Well, for me personally, the only thing which I missed the most about was basically not being able to see all the competitors as well as the Polyphony family and as well as you guys, obviously. I kind of realized that, hey, I really miss you guys. So it would be cool to have another World event again. But yeah, unfortunately, due to the current situations we have with COVID, it doesn't make our lives any easier, unfortunately. So we have to accept it, obviously. In terms of the driving, I don't really know. But the only advantage I can see if I can race from home is after I did my race, I can immediately jump onto my bed and relax myself, which I can't do in a World event. So yeah.
I remember. I think it was last year in Monaco. You jumped off the rig and then ran to the bathroom after one of the races.
Yeah, it's I really wanted to go back home and back to my hotel room back then. Because it was I need my bed. I need to rest myself. Sleep.
Okay, for each of you, talk me through your race. What happened?
My race, my qualifying lap was not very good. There were a couple mistakes in there that I kind of kicked myself for. At best, I was about 4.5 tenths or so off of what my best time was. But realistically, I was probably about 2 tenths off of where I really wanted to be. But in the race, it's a slipstream race, the one that I did. Lots of straight lines, so you just kind of follow people and hope that they make mistakes. And that's pretty much what happened. I know there was one point where we all got an undercut on Devson, or Andrew Brooks, driving for Citroen. And since he came out a lap later, he ended up behind all of us. And so that gave me a position, and I was basically stuck on Simon's bumper the whole race. And I noticed that on one lap, can't remember his last name, Matt Simmons. I think he got taken out due to some lag. And so he basically fell to the back. And then we all had to kind of avoid that as the car was sitting in the middle of the track in the middle of a corner. And Devson right behind me, at the same corner that Matt got crashed at, he ended up getting hit by Emily Jones because of another lag. And that sent him into my rear bumper and hit me. So for a second, I thought oh no, I lost this. But the contact was small enough for me to get by. And then I just went down the inside, so the wrong side of the corner to be on. But I still managed to have enough space to just edge on by. And at that point, I lost Simon's draft, and he was in the Supra, so I thought my race was over because I have this Audi breathing down my bumper that has my slipstream, and then I don't have the Toyota in front of me, which is like a much faster car in the straight line. So I thought there's no way I'm catching up, but I managed to quickly get back into a slipstream because I think he messed up somewhere. And then for the last few laps, it was just trying to figure out how to attack the Toyota in any way I can because I have such a straight line disadvantage. And so in the middle sector, sector 2, I passed him on lap 13, and then he passed me back on the main straight because he's just that much faster. And then lap 14, I made the same pass, but going into the second to last corner, Simon went wide into the grass and got dirty tires. So at that point, I had basically clinched 6th place because there was no way for him to catch back into my slipstream. And so it was a very chaotic race, but just being patient and keeping the car the right way was the key to getting all the way up the positions and getting some decent points.
はい。僕2レース目を担当したんですけど、まず最初のレースで、ダニエルが、正直、車とコースの相性はそんなに良くないと思っていて、その中でも本当にいい順位で帰ってきてくれたので、流れがすごくいいなっていう風に感じましたし、もうこの状況なら、自分も勝てるぞっていう風には思っていたので、正直勝つことだけを意識して、予選から挑みましたし、で、最後も、トヨタと、カラッツァ選手とちょっと接戦になって、正直、抜くのは大変だったんですけど、でも最後の最後にその仕掛けが上手にいって、で僕の中では、この、FIA、このグランツーリスモチャンピオンシップの今までのそのレースの中でも一番うまくいったんじゃないかなっていうレースができたので、すごく自分の中では満足しています。
What I was doing in the just following my strategy I did on my practice races before because like once I did the practice races before, I immediately found out that in my opinion, like for my car, freestyle was the way to go. So I was trying out like different tire compounds, like with which tire compound I should be starting with. And the one I was using for the final race was actually the fastest one, in my opinion, because I mean, I can give, let's say, my advice here, like for the other competitors too, like for the first lap, everybody has cold tires. So because of that, I was also thinking about, okay, if I will be using the hard tires for one lap anyway, just using the hard tires so that I can get rid of those tire compound as well as of the cold tires we have on the first lap. And with the pit exit of Interlagos, it's also like if you have the softer tire compound, then you will be faster through the pit section as well. So if you are pitting for a faster tire compound, then you will automatically gain a lot of time through the pits as well. So that's why I was like, okay, no matter what, I wanted to start with the hard tires so that I can be faster through the pit section and also like faster towards the end of the race, because the lighter the car is, the better the tire wear is, obviously, because the car is lighter there in the end. That's the reason why I went with the strategy here. But then again, sometimes I was also a little bit unlucky with the traffic. But then again, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So yeah, everything just went well in the end.
Well, what happens now? Are each of you planning to come back next year? Are you going to stick with Subaru? Will we see you back in the FIA GTC in 2021?
After achieving my main goal for this year, which is like winning the Manufacturers Cup, and then also like, because like my main priority will be 100% to finish my studies successfully, so that I can say, so that I can always say that I will always have a plan B. Maybe if sim racing will not work in the end. But like for now, I have to prepare myself for the upcoming examinations because the examinations will take place one after this. So like I have been studying for it all the time, so I think I don't need to study for it a lot. But it's still like I still want to focus myself on the examination part, so that I can be with them too. And once that is done for, yeah, let's see. I mean, I can always say what my plans are, but suddenly the plan can change in the end. So I don't want to always say that, okay, I have to and I will be doing this, because in the end something may change in the end. So like, first of all, the main priority for everybody of us will be to stay safe. Because like, hopefully next year will be much better for everyone, for us.
I think as long as I'm able to stay competitive at Gran Turismo, I want to keep doing it because I love it. You know, a lot of people are looking for ways to profit, right? Esports has always been like, this is something fun that I can do for money. And there's definitely a few people that want gain out of it, but I've always been the person that really loves the experience, because this, like, my friends and the staff and everybody, it's like my family away from family, right? So as long as I'm still good enough to keep doing this, I'm not going to stop. So I'm definitely going to continue into next year, and hopefully we can keep the same team together, because I think we work really well together, and we'll see what happens from there.
Well, thank you all for joining me today. It's been great speaking with all of you, and it's great to sort of get the Gran Turismo family back together again for just a few minutes at least. Wish all of you a very happy new year, and hopefully we will see you again next year. Thanks, guys.